have a antique 120 volt transformer type base station here, and it gets decent SWR. It's saying that it's 1.5, but trust me, it's not. The meter is not accurate after 40 years, and I don't care. I know what the SWR is in this radio. My other radio is a Radioddity QT60, and it's got a much more accurate SWR meter. If I run these radios directly to the antenna IMAX 2000, it works fine. There's not a problem. The SWR is negligible. In fact, the QT60 doesn't even see any. The problem is I run an amp and a tuner, and no matter what I did, I could not get the SWR down, particularly on this guy, and I couldn't figure out why. I tried every configuration imaginable. But on Facebook, somebody mentioned that they had a Radioddity type radio that they had to use ferrite beads on in order to get the SWR down. Now, that probably means that there's something wrong with their antenna or its location, but the solution that they used was they added ferrite beads. Probably not the right way to go. It's probably their setup that's the problem, but I just said, hey, I have ferrite beads, let's see what happens. So the larger one has a double turn, the smaller one is a single turn, and there's another single turn right as it goes into the radio. So there are 3 ferrite beads on the QT60, and I have something very similar here for the base station. It has 2 or 3 ferrite beads. There's at least a double turn on one of those beads, if not both. I can't remember, it's buried right now. So the advantages are the noise floor is lower. This thing is very quiet now, not as staticky as it would have been otherwise. But more importantly, I can now run both radios on the amp and on the tuner with low SWR. Again, negligible SWR, so low that very often this radio doesn't even see anything. It never would have occurred to me to try this, that ferrite beads were the answer, but it turns out they are. It allowed the system to get back to 50 ohms, and I imagine there was just some back radiation in the power lines. It's just radiation was going somewhere it didn't belong, and that was amplified by the amplifier, and so there was a large feedback. But these beads have fixed it, and I can now use both radios on an amp with the tuner. I don't get anything above a 1 for SWR. I paid $10 for 20 of these beads, so I recommend you use them, even if just to see how it works. Even if you think, hey, maybe I can knock a little bit of noise off the noise floor, it'll do that. But if you're having any SWR problems and you can't figure out what you're doing wrong, you've checked your antenna, you've checked its location, you've checked the feed line, try those.